Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Rebecca, I'm 44 years old, and I'm somebody who used to suffer from multiple sclerosis, who no longer experiences any of the symptoms since starting the carnivore diet nearly 2 years ago. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I eat in a typical day on the carnivore diet. And this is something that I have covered in plenty of my videos and also in some interviews that I've done. But it is something that people still request that I do. And I do understand that because, you know, to have a video with that as a title is just a quick, easy reference. So that is what I'm going to do today. I am going to, first of all, take you shopping because I have actually run out of supplies, and I will then show you what I eat through the day. So it's basically just 2 meals. I only eat twice a day, and it might vary, like last night, for example. Can I call you back in a second?
Yeah, cool.
All right. It does vary. So like last night I had fish, which is actually quite unusual for me, but I really loved it, and I realized that at least once a week I'm going to make sure that I have a fish dinner. And I'm also toying with the idea of going lion diet, although I don't know, I really like a bit of variety in my diet. Anyway, this is basically the diet that I have been on for the past 2 years. It's my go-to day, and it is the diet that has brought me the results that I am currently experiencing. At this point in time, it has been good enough for me to see health results. There's areas that I'm sure I could improve. There's times when I've strayed from the diet and I've given into temptation. So I'm not claiming to be the perfect carnivore. But if I were to show you my typical go-to day, this would be it. Okay, so that's that. So we'll go to the supermarket first and we'll collect the eggs from the chickens, and then we will prepare the meals. Okay, so now it's time to go and get the eggs from the chickens. It's pretty steep getting up this slope. Hello, little ladies. Good morning. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually collect the eggs yesterday. I've just realised now. So I don't know how I'm going to fit all these in my pocket. I've got to get down on all fours and scrape these eggs out because they lay in this cage. So how many eggs have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, there's another egg here. Like, this one doesn't want to come out. She's having a sand bath instead of coming out. But I don't want to. I have to shut the coop because if I don't, the dog will get in and eat all the grain. So I don't want to shut her in here. My pockets are full of eggs and I've got the camera, so it's not Come on, Chiquilila. Come on, come outside. Come and spend the day outside. You don't want to spend it all inside on your own. Come on. Come on. Can you just do what I'm telling you? Come on, come outside with all your friends, all your sisters. Come on. Here's a good Chiquilila. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's my house and that's the mountains. Oh, I do love it. I love coming to get the eggs from the chickens. Okay. Now this egg container, much as I love it, because you're putting the eggs in the backside of the chickens, it's not that great because the older eggs end up at the back where you can't get to them, and the newer eggs often end up at the front, so I have to kind of wait for it to empty and then bring all the older eggs to the front. So I often just leave the eggs on the side here, the newest ones, until it gets a bit empty and then I can fill it up. Anyway, it's not a big problem. Okay, so I have 3 different kinds of bacon in my fridge. So I love eggs and bacon. I have eggs and bacon every morning. Eggs and bacon with my coffee. So this is the worst kind of bacon. This is the highly processed stuff that actually does contain glucose. So it's the first type of bacon that I discovered in Spain that I quite like, but I'm aware that it's not very good. But then I discovered this bacon, which I get from Lidl, which is cheaper and you actually get more bacon in the pack. So it's cheaper and there's only 150 grams in this one, but there's 200 grams in this one. And this doesn't contain glucose. They don't add any glucose to it, no sugar. So the only thing is I have to travel an hour and a half to get to my local Lidl. So when I go there, I get like 10 packs of these. And this is enough for me across 2 breakfasts, whereas I will eat this entire pack in 1 breakfast. But then I also discovered that you can get bacon in Spain. The thing is, in England, everybody eats bacon, but in Spain, they have all different kinds of pork products, but bacon's not very popular. Don't know why. But anyway, you can actually get bacon from the meat counter, the charcuterie counter in most supermarkets. So I was initially really excited about this. Here it is, here's that bacon, because I thought, oh, well, that's going to be the most natural, no additives. Actually, as I was waiting for this bacon to be sliced up, I was looking at the ingredients from the big chunk of bacon that she was slicing it from, and they do actually add sugar. So this is the only bacon that I can find that has no sugar added to it, and it's from Lidl. So whenever I go to Lidl, I get like 10 packets of this, and actually it's the one I like the best as well. So what I need to do is find a butcher's that does bacon that doesn't have sugar added. That would be the best solution. But yeah, there's my bacon situation. Because I have such a large amount of bacon at the moment, having just been to the supermarket, I think I'll have 6 slices. Probably don't need that. I'm still quite full up from my dinner last night, so I don't really need this much, but I enjoy it. I very much enjoy it. Okay. I like my bacon fairly cooked, not burnt to a crisp, but I like to let it cook for a little bit before I add the eggs, because the eggs cook quicker than the bacon. And also it means that a little bit of bacon grease is there for the eggs to cook in as well. But I do also like to cook the eggs in butter. I like the taste of the butter with the eggs. A little bit of butter. Then So they've fairly cooked, and put the butter in. I don't know how I'm going to video this. It's not going to work, is it? Let's see. Hopefully that will. This is pink Himalayan salt. Sprinkle that on the eggs. Obviously the bacon's pretty salty already. Okay, so it's not exactly the most picture perfect plate of food, but it's going to be delicious. I do love it with coffee so much, although I think coffee might be something that I would benefit from cutting down on. But the important thing is I don't add sugar to it. 4 eggs and 6 rashers of bacon. Okay, so now it is the afternoon and I am going to cook a steak. This is a beef steak. In Spanish it's called a chuleta. I'm not actually sure what that is in English. It's not a ribeye, but it's on the bone. So it's cheaper than a ribeye. I'll have to look it up. I'll put on the screen what chuleta translates as. It's basically just a beef steak. So here we go. So cook it in butter. Dogs are going to get very interested right now. You're not getting any. Oh, I'd love to give them some, but it's not very economical. I have put her on a grain-free diet though, and she's definitely benefiting from it. And I do let them have the bones at the end. Yeah, that's charming, Yasmin, thank you. Okay, so we're going to let the pan heat up till it's nice and hot. I haven't cleaned it since breakfast. I'll give it a rinse after I cook this. When it hits the pan, you want it to sizzle. So, I know, it's not very nice for you, is it? It's a bit torturous, really. But you have to be a good girl. You can't just, you're not entitled. You've got to be a good girl, haven't you? Otherwise you won't get any. Oi! Even the chickens are getting in on the act. Okay, the pan's starting to steam a bit now, so I'm gonna stick it in there. Let's have a look at the chickens. Hello! Oh, the chickens are hilarious. Okay, so Himalayan salt, nice and healthy. Oh, it's torture for the doggies. Yeah. Yeah. My butter. It's a bit awkward trying to do this one-handed and film at the same time. Yeah, I'll give you a bit of bone later. Right, I'm going to wrap this up and put it back in the fridge because it's driving the dog crazy. When I first moved into this house, I didn't have a working fridge. For some reason, it didn't work. So luckily I had this one in Galicia, Mushroom Manor. So I swapped it around and this one works fine. But for a week or two I was without a fridge and oh my god, as a carnivore, that ain't no good. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it this one time. Bit more salt. You don't want to mess with it too much, just leave it to cook. Sorry about the state of the cooker. I'm going to clean up the pan and the hob and get the kitchen sparkling clean again after a cook. If I wasn't holding the camera, it would be easier to spoon the fat and tip it. So let me see if I can do that. The camera on the salt. I'm actually really not that hungry today because I wasn't that hungry before breakfast, and then it was a large breakfast. And I'm actually cooking this earlier than I would do because of the fact that I'm filming a video. So I want to have time today to edit the video and upload it, and that involves going into the local town because I don't have Wi-Fi in the house, just phone data, and I don't have enough phone data. So that's the reason I'm cooking this way earlier than I would normally be, and I'm not actually hungry. So it's all for the benefit of the video. But that's okay, it's fine. I'm going to eat it anyway. But what I was going to say is that if I was a bit hungrier, I might add a couple of eggs to this. Fried eggs are lovely on a steak, or maybe some cheese. When I'm feeling like I really need some variety, I will sometimes have mushrooms, although that's quite rare. Also, I sometimes let myself have a bit of avocado because it's low carb. Both mushrooms and avocado are low carb, so I let myself sometimes have a bit of variety. But I'm trying to move away from that. I'm trying to be more mindful of my carnivore practice and move closer to a lion diet. I may experiment with a lion diet. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, let's see how it's doing on the other side. Oh yeah. Oh, that's lovely. So obviously some people like it rare, some people like it well done. I like it medium rare. I like it salty. So, and it's a good idea to let it sit for a while before you actually eat it. So sometimes if I've been adhering to the fasting regime, if I've been a good carnivore and it's been a long time since I last ate, I might be able to eat 2 of these. Today I only have space for 1, and it's going to be really tasty. And what I like about this cut of meat is that it has fat on it. So sometimes, you know, I got a different type of steak when I was in the shop this time. I got 2 different types, and one type was cheaper, but it didn't have any fat on it. So with carnivore, you really want high fat. It's super tasty, but everybody's just kind of indoctrinated into thinking that it's somehow bad and wrong, but it isn't. We need it for our brains, and it's super tasty, and I can't recommend a high fat carnivore diet enough, really. So there we go. I'm going to leave it to sit for a little bit and then plate it up. Okay, so I'm letting it rest. It's rested for 3 or 4 minutes so far, and that's what you should do to let it be as tender and juicy as possible. Okay. Okay. So this is meal number 2, which I will enjoy looking up at my mountain views. Check it out. There we go. Delicious. Okay, so there you have it. That's my typical day as a carnivore living in Spain. And I should also mention that the times that I eat are actually quite specific, because as a carnivore, it's a good idea to observe intermittent fasting to allow your body to digest all the nutrients and your mitochondria to produce all that wonderful energy. So my breakfast of 4 eggs and a large amount of bacon is usually at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I will eat my dinner at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will just be usually just a large quantity of beef. I also really love lamb. Sometimes it's fish, sometimes it's chicken. So that can vary. That's when I introduce variation into the diet, and that will be, as I say, about 5 or 6 p.m. and then I don't eat anything until 11 o'clock the next morning. I also drink copious amounts of sparkling water, which is really good for your electrolytes and minerals. And I also drink coffee and tea, but as I mentioned, I think that's something that I would benefit from reducing. So there you are. That's my typical menu, and that's the daily menu that has brought me the most unbelievable results health-wise. So what can I say? I highly recommend it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.